Hello, fiber fans, friends and followers. My name is Beth, and I'm here to talk to you about all of the yarny things that I have gotten into recently. Today, I will be talking about what I'm wearing, which also happens to be my only finished object for the episode. And I'll talk about the works in progress that I have and where I'm at with those, as well as announce the winner from last episode's Sandy Bag prompt. And I'll be talking about some new to me things. So with the, did I even say anything about March to the Finish? March to the Finish will be the other thing that I want to talk about. It is a knit along that I like to do in the month of March, so that anything that if you had hoped to finish in February, you didn't quite finish it up then, you can march it to the finish in March, where hopefully, if you're in a climate like mine, you'll still have a little bit of time to wear those cold weather things. And I have a few things I'd like to finish. So we'll see what happens with all of that. And for that, I would like to recommend that what you do in order to participate is just use the hashtag March to the Finish 2025. I'll put that on the screen here. And this will be on Instagram. And you can also tag me at PandemicKnittr on Instagram. So at this point, I kind of feel like the prize for this is your finished object. I don't feel like I need to motivate people with extra yarn that they probably don't need and won't use, which is how I'm speaking for myself. I don't know how people out there feel about this. I see people getting excited about prizes, and I would be excited if I won a prize for anything, but it doesn't motivate me to participate in things. I participate in things for the experience, not for the awards. So maybe you're different. I don't know. I want to point out that I still have my poinsettia in the background. It is still going strong, and I feel like as long as it's still alive and kicking, it should continue making an appearance here. I know it's March, and that's a Christmas thing, but it's living. I'm not getting rid of it. I hate every year that I end up throwing a healthy plant in the garbage. And I usually around Easter time, it starts getting all leggy and the leaves are no longer red. So I do end up getting rid of them around that time just because it just doesn't look good anymore. Anybody have any advice on how to keep a poinsettia looking nice? Do I trim the tops off and hopefully it fluffs out? I do like to do some gardening, and I do have other household plants. So I do kind of do that kind of thing with my house plants. So I'm wondering, would that work with a poinsettia? I don't know. Comment below if you know anything that I don't. Speaking of which, if you live in a climate like mine, now is the time to get your seeds started indoors, because soon enough it will be warm outside and the risk of frost will be gone. A lot of things, I feel like, especially if you're vegetable gardening, you need to plant them well in advance in order to get them to, like tomato plants. You got to plant them 6 weeks in advance of your last frost in order to have a decent start to your tomato plants. Anyhow, this is not a gardening channel. This is a knitting channel, and I'm going to get to the knitting, the nitty gritty, as it were. So first thing I'm working on, oh, wait, I forgot. I need to talk about what I'm wearing. This is the garden cardigan. It is a pattern by ANKESTRICK. I used Barnyard knits, their merino nylon fingering in the colorway Avocado, and I held it together with Knitty McPurly Stockholm Suri in the colorway Meadow. Those two colors are almost an exact match. It's surprising that they come from two different yarn dyers, but they happen to be a perfect match. It's funny, this shirt that I'm wearing underneath looks so very deep blue teal when I'm wearing it together with this cardigan, but really, if you see it, I guess it still looks deep blue teal here. In real life, it looks green to me. Like, let's hold a blue against it. Does that help? No. I don't know. Anyhow, this is like a forest green, like a spruce green, in real natural light. So I did a twirl in this. I will show that. The features I love about this are the length, I think, is just perfect. I like the back seam on it. It does lay nicely in front. It doesn't like flap open or curl under or anything like that. I have not yet blocked this, mostly out of fear that with the alpaca, it's gonna like overexpand like my last sweater did. So I'm a little fearful of that now, and I want it to look how it looks now. And there's other sweaters I've done that with. I have another cardigan that I have never blocked because I'm afraid it's not going to look the same after blocking. Nothing really special to say about this. I followed the pattern almost exactly. I think I went a little bit longer on the length. And that's about it. I mean, this was a great knit. This, the button band that has no buttons, it is incorporated into the pattern, so you don't have to pick up and knit a button band after the fact. The hem is knit right onto it as well. So easy, so simple. I love this pattern. I love this pattern. I love the button band and how it looks, the finished look of it across the front. It just is so nicely folded around because of some slip stitches and how you do that whole button band. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about this. Everything worked perfectly. I did make one small mistake where I think I maybe either slipped with the yarn on the wrong side, or I knit instead of slipping, or purled instead of slipping on one of the stitches. But it's somewhere up in here where I never see it. So if anybody around me ever sees it, I would be surprised. So I love this thing. You guys should all go and knit one. Garden Cardigan by ANKESTRICK. My first work in progress, I'm going to go with the socks I'm knitting. I need to contact the designer of this sock because this is in the test knit stage and I have not asked for permission yet to show it anywhere. So I'm gonna hold it up. I'm gonna show it, and if I do not have permission, I will somehow block it out. But this is called the Squiggle Wiggle sock. I think that is the working name for it, and it is by Shannon Hobbs of Cozy Kitty Designs, and it's got this. It's intended for self-striping yarn, and it's got this sort of up and down look to it, and that goes all the way around the sock. So you start out with a 2x2 rib, and then you move to the different leg pattern, and then she has I think she calls it a Bigfoot heel. So obviously I haven't gotten there yet. The sample that she showed was a shorty sock, but I intend to do a full leg on mine. And the test knit is due March 14th. So this will be one of the things that I am marching to the finish. I really wouldn't even consider that part of that because it is a test knit. I picked up the test knit toward the end of February. So that's not really what I would call a march to the finish. It's not some languishing whip that has been sitting around for ages. It's a test knit and hopefully goes quickly. I'm hoping that I can get these done this week so that I can work toward marching my other things to the finish. My next work in progress is, I'm quickly looking at my show notes, is The Traveler by Andrea Mowry. And this is, I believe the last time I showed it to you, I had not quite gotten to attaching at the top. And that's where I'm at now. And so I need to pick up the sleeves. That'll be my next thing. So look at that. This color, I just love the way it sort of pools just a little bit. It kind of stripes, and I'm loving the feel of this. So now, here's one. I think if I put this against, now you can see how green my shirt is. It is not a tealy blue. It is a very greeny green. So I'm going to throw this on over my head so you can see what the fit of it looks like. Now, this is meant to be an oversized thing, and it is 100% alpaca. So I believe when I block this, it is going to block out way bigger than it already is. It is sort of a horizontally ribbed item, so I think it's going to grow in length. So we'll see what happens with that. This may end up being another one that I'm like, I don't want to block it, I'm afraid. So here's what it looks like right now. So it doesn't even come to the bottom of my long sleeve t-shirt that I'm wearing. So I have a feeling when I block it, it is going to block out both wider and longer. So I guess we'll see what happens. This is Shady Haven's Farm. Is that the name? Shady Haven's Fiber Designs Prime Alpaca. And they do not list a colorway, but I am loving the fit of this already. I can't complain about anything at all. This is the first time I've done an Andrea Mowry sweater, and the adding on stitches in the underarm is new to me, just like it was to Devin. If you watch the Knitty McPurly podcast, she talked about that. She's doing the Traveler cardigan, and I've never seen construction like that in anybody else's designs. So that is an interesting feature. So I would like to march this to the finish. All it needs is sleeves and a hood. And then I think there's also some more finishing that goes like around. I think there's like an I-cord finish or something like that. There's also like an I-cord that goes through the hood. I've seen, if any of you watch Knitty Natty, she has a gray one and she has a pink I-cord string that goes through the hood. So I haven't looked that far in the directions. I assume it's in there and that Natalie didn't just make that up by herself. So that's my traveler. The next work in progress that I have is my pressed flowers cardigan. Now, this was in the thumbnail of my last episode, and I don't know that I have gotten all that much further on it. And that's because I have come to an impasse. So this is the bottom of the cardigan, and I am struggling with what to do with my colors. These are the two colors I have. This was not intended, like the pattern is written for a main color and a contrast color. It doesn't say to get two. And if I had been thinking ahead, I would have chosen this color for the top, because then I could do the sleeves in this colorway, and have them matching. I have, because this is the same as this, and I am almost out of my first one. You can see the end right here. This is pretty much all of it. There's not a whole lot left. So I think because this is blue and purple here, this purpley blue would blend nicely there. So I think right now where I'm at is splitting into front left, front right, and back sections. So I would have to use this 3 separate times to make 3 separate flower segments. So I'm going to have to be doing some cutting, which nobody wants to do, because that means weaving in more ends. So this is sort of, I think this is going to be a little bit on the back burner because it's going to take some extra thinking every time I work on it. And in order to march to the finish, I want to be working quickly. So I don't think this is one where I'm going to be working all that quickly. By the way, this is Rowan felted tweed. The colorway for the main color is Celadon, right? Wait, let me look. I think that's what it was. Yes, Celadon. And this one is Magenta, and this one is Amethyst. So we'll see where I go with this. Hopefully, I can see a piece of plastic floating through my backyard right now. Hopefully we get that cleaned up before my next episode. Not that you'll ever see it. So anyway, this is the garden cardigan. It is a pattern. No, this is not the garden cardigan. This is the pressed flowers cardigan by Amy Christoffers, or Christoffers. I hear it said both ways. I don't know which one is correct. I apologize. My third work in progress, that this one kind of took me by surprise. I was not intending to do something else, but I found myself at a point in my knitting that everything was taking too much thinking. So I thought, what do I have that's small and easy to work on? And this is what I went to. This is the Davenport Cowl. It is a pattern by, I don't know how to say that. Is it Aopi? Aopi? I don't know. And I am loving how these colors knit up together. This fade is just amazing on this. I love this. And you know what? It's very, very thick. I went with, it was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be a DK, and I went to, I think I went to a bulky. I'm looking for what the pattern says for the yarn. It says, oh, it was supposed to be worsted, and I went to a bulky because what I found first was the contrast color. Oh, in fact, I still have a full skein and I don't need any more of it for this project. So this will be for something else. So this was the first colorway I came across. Okay. This reminds me, you guys. Sad news. I bought this from Elgin Knitworks in Elgin, Illinois, and the shop will be closing. So I do know that this weekend they're having a sale. I don't know how long it will last. I don't know how long they'll keep their doors open, but unfortunately they felt the need to close up shop. So Elgin Knitworks will no longer be a local yarn shop here. So those of you who are planning to come to the Makers Meetup in July, I would expect they are going to be closed by that time. So unfortunately, that leaves us with one less yarn shop to give our business to. My heart goes out to Betsy and Linda. I know this was a labor of love for them, so I hope they find happiness doing other things in the future. But this is Queensland Brisbane, and it is in the colorway Coral Reef, and that is my contrast color on this. Look at how that, I just love this. Okay, and then my main color is Madeline Tosh, and it is triple twist, I believe. Yeah, triple twist is the base, and the colorway is called The Feels. So I have done all I need to in this yarn. So I have these two left over. I could make another cowl or something else, who knows? But if you see this picture, the lining inside is a contrast color. And what they did, I believe, is they held a fingering and a lace weight together. So like a sock yarn and a mohair. And my thinking, I can see it across the room. For those of you who remember the test knit that I did for Isabel Kramer, that sweater, I have a ton of leftover yarn from, and it's also Madeline Tosh. I'm looking at the label here. I'll be right back. I have two of the same size, plus another ball that's a little bit smaller. So this is Madeline Tosh, Pashmina, in the colorway. For some reason, I'm thinking sea glass, but that, oh, it is. It's sea glass. So this is 75% superwash merino, 15% silk, and 10% cashmere, and 100% squishy and soft, and it has the best feel to it. So I don't know. I'm going to have to experiment with this. I'm going to have to figure out how to work it so that I can make this work on the inside of that cowl. This is already so heavy that I don't know if I'm going to want to have it through the whole thing. But that is what the pattern is intended to do, is to have it all through, which gives you that nice feeling inside. So for those of you who are not overly sensitive to mohair, that was the idea, I believe, of this, is to have that nice soft feel on your neck. And the cashmere, I think, would provide that same soft feel. So this pop of green inside, I think, would be really, really cool to just kind of pop out of there and accent the green that's on the outside as well. So I love this thing. I want to wear this thing, and I want to wear it when it's still cold out. So I got to march that to the finish. But I may be playing a numbers game with how many stitches I need in order to fill the inside of this cowl, because I went off pattern. So we'll see what happens. That is my last work in progress. On to new to me. So everything is still in a bag. Oh, you know what? Forget that. Let's do my my drawing. I drew the winner already, and I will go ahead and go to that drawing, and we'll go from there. So now to me. Okay, friends, it's time for the drawing for the Sandy bag. This is the bag that will be mailed to the winner. And I have all the names of the people who commented about what you do with your notions in this hat that was given to us when we had my son's Make-A-Wish trip at Disney World. And we met the guy who plays Indiana Jones. So you can see it says Indiana Jones right there. Anyhow, get these bouncing around and see. Ooh, look at that one, popped right out on the brim of the hat. The lucky winner is Dorothy Rainey. Dorothy, congratulations. Please get a hold of me. My information is up here. PandemicKnittr@gmail.com is probably the best place to do it. Either that or on Instagram at PandemicKnittr. And I will get that out to you. I still have not gotten around to mailing the last one, but most likely I'll do those together if I get the information soon enough to just get them out at the same time. So thanks for participating, and there will be another drawing most likely in my next episode. We'll have a March drawing, so stay tuned for that. And now back to me. Okay, congratulations again, and please remember to reach out to me and give me your full name and address so I can send that bag to you. I bought a few things after the Knitty McPurly retreat because there's a knit along coming up for those of you not in the know, but I'll get to that. But there was also this cute new thing. So Devin's daughter, I think it was Charlotte. Yes, Charlotte's the younger one. She made these little stitch marker bracelets. See, here's the thing. It's one of those packages. How did she package this? It's one of those packages where you have to, it looks like you have to rip from that little thing in order to open it. How did she get it in there? She didn't seal this, did she? Anyhow, I don't want to open it up because I was thinking of doing a giveaway of these. So we'll see. Anyhow, it's a bracelet. It is a bracelet, and it's got a little stitch marker on it. So Devin apparently has some advanced manufacturing packaging techniques. I don't know. For something that a 10-year-old made, this seems highly advanced. I think that's how old Charlotte is. I could be wrong. I'm sorry, Charlotte, if I'm misaging you. The next thing I got was the January colorway in Frankfurt Fingering. I saw this on her podcast back in January, and I thought, oh, I love that color. And I thought, I'll get it when I go to the retreat. And then when I was at the retreat, I saw it, but I got so involved in my idea for the sweater that I wanted to knit and get that sweater's quantity of yarn from Devin that I completely forgot that I was going to grab one of these too. So I managed to grab one of these, and I also bought the February colorway. I have been talking about adding more pink to my repertoire, and this is a very nice pink. So we'll see how that ends up fitting into my wardrobe. I'm going to do something with it. I don't know what. But the upcoming knit along starting today is cast on day. Not for me to announce. I'm sure Devin's already announced it on her own podcast, but today is the knit along start for the Flutterbutt shirt by Jessie Made Designs, and Knitty McPurly and Arkansas Yarn Company are in conjunction running this knit along. So I highly recommend you look at their Instagrams and YouTubes and find out all the details on what you need to do. But according to what I'm told, 2 skeins is all I need for this. I would not be in the least bit surprised if I need more of this. But I think she was only selling it in these size quantities. I should have gone with a bigger size. I don't know why I didn't think of this. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna at least get my start with this. I even thought about maybe I can do a contrast color for the sleeves and the peplum bottom of it. So we'll see what I do. This is the, what does she even call it? Sorrento Slub Fingering Weight in the colorway Mustard. And this is a new colorway for Devin. She's got some little reds and it looks like a black fleck. I don't know what if you watch Devin, she'll tell you all the details. So I think this is going to be a fun knit along, and hopefully a quick one. So I may not start this right away. As you can see, I haven't even caked it up. So we'll see where I go with that. But I'm very excited to knit along with this. And I think the knit along goes through April, maybe? I don't know. I'd have to look. Okay, the next thing that I have that's new to me, I saw, for the first time ever, I saw that Mustache Yarns was having a sale. It was a 1-day sale. It came through my email. I told all of my closest knitting friends, you need to jump on this if you need some self-striping yarn. And I didn't post to Instagram or anything. I texted my local knit group, and I think maybe Colleen too. Anyhow, I haven't opened these yet because I thought it would be fun to do a sort of a reaction to opening it on the video. And this came, I think it was Wednesday, and I'm recording on Saturday. So I'm sort of like on Wednesday or whatever day it was that it came, I was like, oh my God, I want to open this. I really want to open this. So I like how she did a different color tape on each one of these. I don't know if that tells what the yarn inside is, because none of my yarns had anything like that. None of the things that I ordered. So I'm curious to see. So I apologize for the crinkling of the paper. Ooh. Okay, so another with extra pink. This is where I'm going with my color choices. This is called La Belle Amour, and that's the colorway. It is on her Perfect Must Match Set base. So Perfect Sock, I believe, is the base. And then it's a must match set, which means in this skein, there are 2 hanks that are exactly the same, so that you can do 2 at a time socks and you'll get the same striping throughout. So I'm excited about that, especially with my new sock book that I have shown repeatedly, because I just love this pattern right here. I feel like I could, if I like how these fit, and I like how they knit up, I will probably do that one over and over because I love that pattern so much. Anyhow, my next must stash yarn, I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what I ordered. I just don't know which one I'm opening. So, ooh, look at those colors, you guys. Hoo-wee, it looks like Sweethearts, doesn't it? This colorway is called Light Bright. I believe that is this. Or not. There's a lot of dark blue in this pattern, in the picture, and there's, I don't see, I see it. Yeah, I think it's mostly the darker color is purple. So anyway, it's definitely a fun one, but I feel like on her website, Light Bright was the colorway that showed that sock pattern. I could be wrong, but I was inspired by that. And the third self-striping yarn I got from Mustache Yarns. This being the month of Valentine's Day, Je t'aime is this one, and it is on her, what does she call it? It's sparkly. I'm as I show this, I'm hoping that some of the sparkle will show, and I'm also scrolling down in my show notes to see if I can find what that base is called. Oh, Ritz sock. Ritz, like the cracker, like putting on the Ritz. So there, I see the sparkle. Do you see the sparkle? I see one right up there. So this probably will be my next Valentine's Day sock knit. So I think this I'll hold on to until next February. Maybe I'll start at mid-January. We'll see. Hopefully future me remembers that. No promises, because future me, well, past me, has forgotten a lot of things. A lot of things I should have remembered. In fact, today is my 26th wedding anniversary, and my husband said something the other day about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot completely. Which is, I mean, it's funny because my husband is one who remembers dates very well. And I do too. But I don't know. I feel like there's something about March 1st that feels like, I think because February is so packed full of birthdays in my family. My birthday is the 14th. My two sons, their birthdays are both in February. I have one 9 days before me, one 9 days after me. And then, like, there's Valentine's Day, and February is just a busy, busy month. So it just gets overwhelming sometimes. But I think that's why I always am forgetting March 1st is our anniversary. So we will be celebrating actually by going to breakfast tomorrow. Something simple, because we did spend a lot of money in the month of February as well as late January with the retreat and everything. So we thought we'd go with something simple and not as expensive. And it's 26. It's not like it's some big milestone. It's the 26th anniversary. Anyhow, if you've made it this far, thank you for joining me. And I appreciate all of you out there for every comment that you make, and remember, hashtag on Instagram. If you've got a languishing whip that you want to march to the finish with me, hashtag March to the Finish 2025. Tag me in it, and we'll chit chat about what we are trying to get finished that we didn't quite finish in February. So, with that being said, remember to like, subscribe, survive, and thrive, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.